Alright, so for my next variation, I'm going to start with 2 of these gorgeous kunzite beads. I'm looking at the front of my earrings and I've got the cuts facing the back. Remember that you can start these earring forms using my Gloria swag earring tutorial to learn how to get to this part. You can make those earrings and then you can come back and make these cute variations. So I'll just hold on to the bottom of the 18 gauge, well, I'll hold on to the 18 gauge at the bottom of the coils at the tip of my chain nose plier, and I'll just turn a nice tight turn going straight up the earring, making a little hairpin turn. I'll hold on to it right here at the base with a couple of millimeter, hold tight, and curve your wire just off the side of the bead. So cute. Go ahead and push it down close to the bead, so basically it's just coming up on itself and skirting over the other half of the bead. Just like that. I'll hold on to all of this. Remember that this 18 gauge that's threaded through the bead will spin on you a little bit, so just keep this positioned upright, your edge. See what I mean by it'll spin on you? So just as you work, make sure you keep this little bit upright. Okay? You can hold on to all of it. You can use the edge of the bead if you want to help you turn this curve. Make a nice, and it'll keep wanting to move on you, so just work carefully and patiently. Make a nice curve that comes to the top of the earring, right above these coils, just like that. You can hold on to it right there. Once you get a curve that you like, hold the front and the back of this wire so that it doesn't spin while you make this turn. Just hairpin it around itself and back to the other side there, just like that. And now let's set up the other earring before we go too much further. So I'll make sure that I'm looking at the front of the earring. I'll turn it so that my swag design is opposite the previous one. I'll hold on to the earring at the bottom of the coil real tight. Hairpin it back onto itself. Hold on to the edge sideways, and then make a nice elegant bend off to the right this time and away from the earring. And again, my 18 gauge wants to spin, so you can just hold that steady. Push the wire so that it lands right next to the bead, just like that. Hold on to everything. You can use the bead, or you can use just your hands to form this curve. Just get it going. Back in the opposite direction. We'll just compare them to see that they're similar, and they are. So once I get it curved the way I want it, I'll hold on to it right here with my plier. Help me make this turn around the top. And I'll squeeze it closed, nice and tight. Bring them back up and look at them. They're both very cute. I've got this one turned a little bit slightly, so I'm just going to correct it with my plier. Turn it back. Pinch it a little more closed. Just shape it until it's nice and you love it, and that they look similar. And that's pretty good there. So now with this one, once you have them, very close, you can do a very tight pinch right there, almost as if to dent the wire. Really tight pinch on its closure. And then while you have it in the plier, bring this wire slightly forward again so that it's in front of this design wire. Just like that. Do the same with this one. Once it's in position, get your plier on it and give a very tight squeeze, almost as if to dent the wire. And then while you're holding it, just bring this extended wire a little forward so that it's in front of this curve. Everything should be on the same plane. It looks pretty good. And to get these two to a similar size, I like to just put them up against each other. Just get them close. And then you can take a snip straight across both of them. I'm leaving about an inch to work with. If you don't want to make the little spiral I'm about to make, you can trim the wire right there and just, fold it back on itself for a closure, like we did the last pair. I'll get my round nose plier. I'm going to get on the end of this wire. It's tough wire because it's 18 gauge, so just hold everything steady. Make sure the wire doesn't spin on you. I'm going to close that up slightly more. Just like that. I use my finger as a little landing pad. Hold tight and start a cute little spiral at the end of that wire. Cute little curve. Keep curving and keep spiraling inward. Till you get a cute little design right there on top of the earring, just like that. So adorable. Repeat with this one. Looking at the front of my earring. I'm going to get my round nose plier on the end of that wire. Just use my finger as a landing pad, however best you can turn it. Remember that it's very thick wire, so just reposition yourself as necessary and get a cute little spiral landed at the top of the earring, just like that. You can use your chain nose plier and tighten that up a little bit if you need to. And just make it a little bit further. There it goes. Okay, and I love that. You can take your nylon jaw, give a little tap right there. Make sure that it's living on the front of the earring where you want it, right above your bead. Compare it to the other one. They look very similar, and that looks really lovely. I'll just squeeze this one down a little bit, land it on top of my bead a little bit more. You just want to make sure that they look similar and they're similar size and they're living on top of the bead. That's gorgeous. And now I'll take this other length of wire here and we'll do the same thing. You'll hold right here about 1 millimeter above where they meet and just make a deliberate bend. Don't push, don't pull, but bend the wire about 45 degrees towards the swag. Do the same on this side. Grab it about 1 millimeter right above that spot and make a deliberate bend about 45 degrees. You can take your round nose plier, get right next to it, right into the crevice of that bend. Push, hold tight, push, and you can come all the way around until you reach the front. I'm going to reposition my plier for better grip. Come all the way around into the front. Just make a little turn till you get a nice little loop right there. Take my chain nose plier. Just get that formed until you're happy, and that's pretty good there. Do the opposite one. Make sure you're looking at the front of the earring. Get your round nose plier on it, hold real steady, come around the head of the plier, reposition yourself so that you can make a nice loop right on top of the earring like that. And that's pretty good. That's about the same size and I'm happy with that. So I'll take my cutter and I'll trim the excess wire away right here at the very inside edge of that wire, so that when I tap it down, it'll land right next to the neck and give me a nice clean closure on top of the earring. So cute. I'll do the same with this side. Just cut it away right here at the edge where it's going to meet the neck of the earring loop, and take your chain nose plier and just shape it until it's closed and flat. Adorable! You can sand everything as needed if you need to, and with the last couple of inches here you can make your own earring hooks. I like to just get these lined up. There's usually a straight one and a little curve. I'll just line up the straights. Cut these little curves off so that you have two nice straight wires. You can use your bail making pliers to make little loops at the end of the wire. Bring them all the way around so that they're closed. Gently remove your plier. You can make that a little more closed by using a round nose and getting it turned a little bit more. This is 20 gauge brass, excuse me. So it's a little bit harder when the wire gets shorter. So I'll just close up those loops and that's fairly good. I'll use the 8mm portion of my plier, my step plier, and I'll leave, depends on how long you want this hook. I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch from the tip of this to where the plier closes. Maybe it's a little less than 1/2 inch. And then I'll use the body of the plier and just bend both sides back into a nice hook. Bend the backs until they almost reach the front. So you get that little bit. And then you can take these two ends and just turn them up slightly at the base, about 2 or 3 millimeter. Just give them a slight upturn. And then file those ends down really good. So let's go ahead and hammer the curve. So I'll put all that down on my bench block. Give the top a little tap. Give the loop a little tap. And I'll do the same with this one. And that'll harden that earring up for you, the earring hook. I'll take my plier and open them up, sideways, and slip your earring on. And then close them back up. I love that. We'll do the other one. Open it up slightly. Put your earring on here. Close the earring hook up. And now you have a beautiful and very unique pair of kunzite earrings in brass. And again, you can patina these if you want to. They're gorgeous when you patina them. Alright, brass is beautiful when you patina it. And if you want to add a little bit more sexy down here, you can take and curve it just a little bit more so it's not stick straight. Just give it a little bit of a curve if it's needed. And I might just do this one too. Tap these flat if you need to. Don't leave plier marks if you can avoid it. And if you need to make another pinch right here, do that. Just make sure that this is, like I said, very, very tight. So when we bent it over, we squoze it so that, almost as if to dent the wire. Very tight so it stays in place without actually having to be a loop. All right, and there go another pair of cute Gloria swag earrings. But this is a different variation, so I love it. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Come back for another pair. You just want to make sure you hang them onto your earring hooks so that they're mirrored from each other. Oh my gosh, these are adorable. Really, really cute. And they'd be really cute if you patinaed. This is brass wire. So you can treat brass very much like copper. You can patina this in the liver of sulfur just like you would the copper wires, and then you can polish them out. You could also just clean them up and polish them out and leave them bare brass, and that's a beautiful golden color to the earrings. Really nice. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll come back for the next ones. All right, for my third variation, I'm going to go ahead and use 2 jade beads on the Gloria earring form. And again, I'm looking at the front of both of my earrings. I'm looking at the front of both my earrings because my cuts are living in the back. And just like in Gloria, how we bent these 2 arms up and made a triangle, this time I'm going to turn the swag upside down and do the same maneuvers. So I'll get my chain nose plier right here at the edge of the coil, and I'm just going to make a 90-degree bend straight up, making sure that this bit of the coil stays nice and straight while you work. I'll do the same to this side. Just take it and bend it straight up. Like this. So you have kind of a square U shape. I'll do the same. This is the front of my earring with a fine chain nose or fine flat plier. You'll just turn these 2 arms straight up. Now I'm looking at the back so that I can use my same hand. Oop. Remember that it turns on you because this 18 gauge is an independent wire that goes through there. Turn the earring so that I'm facing the front again. And look, I turned them in the wrong direction. But what's great and okay is that that 18 gauge is an independent wire, so I can just flip this upside down and turn it back this way. And now I'm in position of where I want it to be. So the disadvantage is that it spins a little bit, but the advantage of this 18 gauge being independent is that you can make little corrections like this. So now you can either measure them if you want to, and I will. I'll start by putting, the two earrings together so that the coils line up and my arms are together on the inside. I'm going to measure up about 1 1/4 inch. So I'll just put them right here on the edge of a measure. You can do them one at a time also. I'm going to make a mark at 1 inch and then at 1 1/4. And I'll do that to all 4 earrings. Turn it over. Mark at 1 inch and then up at 1 1/4. Make a mark at 1 inch and then up at 1 1/4. Make a mark at 1 inch and then up at 1 1/4. And those are just to help you keep, your earrings even and your crosses even. So on this one, I'm going to make it so that the right wire is the wire on top. So I'll grip it right here, and I'm just going to keep bending until one of these marks crosses the center of my earring. And I put 1 inch and 1/4 just in case I want to make the earring smaller or bigger. So I'll do the same with the opposite side. I'll just keep bending it until my 2 marks cross at the top center of my earring. And that's pretty good right there. I'm going to make them cross at the 1 inch mark. And they don't have to be exactly exact, and you'll pinch right here to make sure you've got a nice sharp triangle. And that's pretty good there. It's pretty top center. Just work them until you feel like they're crossed and they look nice, and that's good there. So looking at the front of my earring again, I'm going to take this one, and this time my left one is going to be on the top. So I'll just cross that bend it until it gets until that mark crosses the center. And then same with this one. You can either bend it with your plier, you can hold it right there and bend it with your finger, whichever is easier for you. And I'm making them cross at the 1 inch mark. I'm going to tap these corners to make sure that they're nice and tight and sharp. And that's pretty good. So I'll just compare these two, and they look fairly even in size, and they look nice with the right hand wire crossing the top and the left hand wire crossing the top. So now I use my plier and I'll hold on to the bottom wire, the wire that's on the bottom, and I'll hold on to it right next to where they crisscross. And without moving that top wire, I'm just going to make a hairpin bend right over itself, and when I get it there, I'll hold on to all the wire and give a nice closing squeeze right here, right there at that mark, making sure that they're still top center to my earring, and that's pretty good there. Oh. So I've got the one wire just coming off the triangle there. And I'll do the same with this side. Hold it right there where they crisscross and bring the bottom wire up and over itself without moving this top wire out of position. Once you get the hairpin curve, just hold on to the extended wire so it doesn't actually loop around when you squeeze to tighten it. And just let that wire come off the side of the earring. So that looks pretty even to me. And now you can do a little spiral with these two extended wires. You can either measure them or just hold them kind of close to each other and eyeball the cut. I'm going to cut them so that there's about maybe 1.25 inches on the length of that wire. So if I take it down for a casual measure, it's about 1.25 inches. And the same should be for this one, 1.25 inches, and that's pretty good. So from here I'll take the round nose plier. I'll grip this on my finger, kind of put it on the pad of your finger, get your round nose on it. This is 18 gauge, so it'll be a little bit tough to turn, but just work it into a nice beautiful spiral. Reposition and turn if you need to. Just get a nice beautiful spiral going into the center of your wire here. Brass is going to be harder on you than copper, so just expect that. Just work it till your spiral is on top of your bead, and that's lovely. Now we'll do this one. Get this wire on my plier. Use my finger as a landing pad if I need to start the turn. Regrip, hold on to the center, and just keep turning a nice spiral until you reach right above the bead, right above your design. And that looks pretty good. Hold them next to each other and they should look fairly similar. That's super cute. If you munched the little tip while you're making your turn, the secret is to get a nice sharp cutter in there and just snip that munchy tip out. Do that on both of these. Just the 1 millimeter tip. Then you can use your plier and reshape that if you need to, or shape it a little bit more if you need to. This is my chain nose or flat plier, will help you shape that. And I love that. That looks pretty good. Now we'll just make some loops with the top. If you want to take your nylon jaw and do some pressure squeezing, squeeze the shoulders, squeeze these side wires, make sure that everything is closed and tight right here. Make a nice hard squeeze to make sure it stays in place. You can squeeze on the sides if you want to. Squeeze the spiral flat if you need to. And again, brass is pretty hard wire, so this might work your hands a little bit more than you expect. These are beautiful in copper as well, and certainly in sterling silver or gold if you make them in those colors. Gold filled wire. And now to get our loop, I'm going to hold right about 1 millimeter above where they meet right here with my round nose, and I'm going to be just about 1 millimeter inside my round nose. Hold real tight. Use the edge of the plier to turn a loop at the top of your earring. Reposition yourself so that you can have leverage. Come behind the earring. And turn your plier slightly so that you get a nice loop formed. This is the back of my earring. Might reshape it a little bit more. So you just want to be right above the one that slants down. And then you can either use that extended wire for more design, or certainly you can cut it right there at the edge. Just take an eyeball cut and cut it so when you pinch it back, it rests nicely right there. It makes a very nice little closure for the top of your earring. Just give love taps to adjust and make sure your loop is top center. All of these Sharpie marker marks come right off with sanding and polishing. Otherwise, you can take a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Oh, I should have held that a little bit higher. So I'm just going to readjust my plier and make that loop a little bigger. Come behind it just like you did the other one. Make sure you come above the slanted wire. And then you can take your snip very close right there. Make sure you don't cut any other wire. And then when you tap it down, it should live right there and give you a nice closure to the top of your earring. And that's it. What another gorgeous pair of earrings. This is Gloria swag, and the last time when we did them in the video we made the swag go down, and this time we did them in the reverse and made it go up. And now we'll just add our favorite little earring hooks that we make with some of these scraps that we have, or you can do some pre-made ones. I actually made 2 pair of these because I like this design a lot. And again, I'm just going to use some of my scrap that I had left over from making these earrings to make my earring hooks. I've made my loops. Now I'm just going to form the French earring by putting it around my plier until they almost meet, and then I'll hammer them out. Hammer the curved edge, the loop on both of them. You can put them together and cut them shorter. I like to leave them long back here until I have them hammered. And then you can take one nice cut together with the flat edge of your cutter. Sand the ends down, but now you have cute little earring hooks that match the brass coloring in your earrings. Open them up to the side and put your lovely earrings on them. Give a tap and a tap. So cute. And this is the opposite one to that one that we just made. And now I have 3 beautiful variations of Gloria swag. I think these are some of my favorites right here with the swag going up. Looks like a little rainbow inside of the triangle or pyramid. Alright, you guys, so that is 3 variations on this beautiful design. So there's that one, there are these. This one is similar to the Kunzite, except that I did not put the little swirl on top. And then this pair, which is just basically doing the same thing except bringing those 2 wires along the edge. I might add this pair to the end of this video as well. So enjoy, you guys. I hope you love that, and I hope you will make lots of these. They should be really nice sellers. Just do some sanding and or patina on all of them and clean them up. Make sure again to file down the ends of these earrings. I've got these great little sanding pads, sanding sticks that do very quick work of these ends, and you can find all of these tools and sanding and polishing supplies on my Amazon Associates store. The link is in the description of this video. So anyway, there you go. I hope you love it. And if you enjoyed this variations tutorial, please give me a thumbs up. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. The subscription through YouTube is free. If you care to join the monthly paid membership, you can do that as well at the link in the description. And please drop me a comment or look me up on social media and show me your beautiful work if you made any of these. I appreciate you very much, and I will see you guys for the next one. Much love.